Hey, I'm Hervin Pesa. I'm a financial planner, and in this video, I'll go over my top 5 non-financial investments. These are things that I practice myself, and they're topics that I openly explore with my clients. By the way, I'll be using the word investment super loosely here, so please don't be thrown off by that. Let's just remember that every time we invest, what we're doing is we're committing resources for a desired outcome, a specific return. For me and my team, financial planning is not just about investing returns. It's about stewardship and aligning our resources with our values so that we can live a life of meaning now and in the future. So it's not just money. Let's also look at time and energy as our main resources. I'm a true believer in creating a rich life and not just a rich bank account. There's more to me and you than our assets. I want to make it a mission of mine to commit my resources to becoming more complete, better rounded, so to speak, financially, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. That's all because I value my family, my health, and my impact. The problem is, we've heard it said that the calendar and the bank account does not lie. And I've recently done an audit for me personally, and I asked myself, does my calendar actually reflect what I value, where I spend my time? Does my bank account, does my spending habit actually reflect what I value? And by the way, you can do this as a mid-year check for your goals for 2021. We all had great goals welcoming this year, right? So I truly hope that when you review this, you're allocating your resources in a way that aligns with the goals that you set forth for this year. So I hope you're making progress, my friend. It's going to be hard to really align everything, but my goal and my hope is to make progress so that I can get closer and closer to that congruency. So here are 5 things that I'm committing my resources to with the aim of aligning my values and in turn, hopefully becoming a better father, a better husband, a better brother, and be a better servant to my clients. And maybe I could just be all around better as a human. I hope that all these examples can give you ideas on where you can allocate and invest your personal resources. Number 1 on this list, and I think it should be for everybody right now, is investing in our health. I'm investing in my health. See, it's no surprise that the last year and a half really forced us to live a more sedentary life. I mean, just ask Will Smith, which, by the way, is a hero of mine. The environment just made it socially acceptable to let go a little bit. That coupled with getting busier at work, I just put on some pounds, maybe some and a few more. So when the gyms opened up here in Alberta, I had to commit to getting back to it. So I signed up for a gym membership. That's a small financial commitment, right? But more than that, it's certainly a commitment to my calendar. Now I have a standing daily appointment, 5 to 6 a.m. I've been pretty good with it. So far in the last 2 weeks, I've only missed one. What's the ROI on this? If this is an investment, well, I feel sharper. My energy is up, so I have more focus when I'm working. So I'm certainly more productive and it helps me serve my clients better. The energy helps with the kids too. I feel like I'm sleeping deeper. Maybe that has to do with working out. Right now, I'm still in the habit building phase. The goal is to just get there and to show up. I don't even have any weight loss or strength goals right now. I mean, I'm already married, so she's locked in. No returns, no exchanges, baby. But once the groove is set, it's going to be really worthwhile for me to hire a trainer or even consult with a nutritionist. But just like investing, we can't be rich overnight. I don't expect to get fit again right away after 18 months off. Neither is it beneficial for you to invest everything you have without the habits necessary to becoming an investor. The next on this list is investing in my marriage or my relationship. if you're married or you have a spouse or partner, I would strongly suggest that you invest in the relationship. I've met too many people who spent more time and effort planning their wedding, a single day, a single event, more so than they do working on their marriage, which is their new life. I personally don't want to be like that. Before the lockdowns, my wife and I had a budgeted and a regularly scheduled date night. To us, it was just a way to check in with each other and get some quiet. And most of the time, it was just to try new restaurants in the city. That's my favorite. Sometimes it's just looking at open houses to get real estate ideas. All of our chats were sprinkled with laughs and funny things from work or weird stories that we hear. But really, it was just a good time for me to practice listening. And that's definitely one of the things that I still need to keep working on. The funny thing is, though, that most of our conversations would lead to our goals, where we see ourselves, the things that we want to accomplish, and where we see our lives from a big picture. So now that the world is opening up again, that's part of our to-do list, to get back to that regular cadence. We also want to sign up for dance and cooking lessons. Again, these things are commitment in time and money, but it does bring us closer to our values and our true goals. So I would strongly urge you to look for ways to invest in the relationships that matter to you. Going along with the theme of investing in relationships is investing in our relationships with our children. I am investing in my relationship with my kids. See, my daughter is going to junior high next year, but make no mistake, we've had a preteen diva for a long time. Like, OMG, Dad, you are so cringe. You high-key embarrass me. As parents, it's really hard to relate to the things they're talking about, and sometimes it's downright incoherent. But we have to make a conscious effort to show interest. Some of the things that I consciously do with her is watch animes and look at the shows that she likes and enjoys. The funny thing is, the shows that I watched back in my day are now on Netflix. So sometimes we watch shows like Naruto and Kuroko together. And the other day, her and her cousin were watching Baki. Like, what? That's crazy. By the way, if you don't know what that is, if you don't know any of those, don't worry. My point is simple. It's just to try to show interest in the things that she likes. I want to consciously spend time with her. And the thing is, just like my wife, we had a date night or a specific time for my daughter. Every Sunday morning for years, we would go to Mass and have brunch with her as a shared appointment between my wife's calendar and mine. Before anyone comes at me and says that if it's that important, why do you need to do those things? Well, I need to make sure that I schedule family time because it's that damn important to me. This summer, for another example, I bought a pair of kayaks and made it a goal to get out on the water with my son and daughter a certain number of times. And so far it's going well. As it turns out, my wife likes it too. So that's a new activity for all of us. The kayaks, the gear, and the roof racks, they were not cheap. But most sports can get expensive when you're just getting started, right? So you know what I mean. My ROI on this though, how about the memories? How about the laughs and the smiles? And by the way, this also touches on the health goal that I mentioned earlier. Number 4 is investing in ourselves, in our careers. I'm constantly investing in myself and my career. From a career standpoint, from an industry standpoint, most regulated advisors and financial planners must submit continuing education hours to be able to renew their licenses and designations anyway, but I consider those to be the absolute bare minimum. The landscape just feels like everything is changing so rapidly, and it tells me that self-improvement is just table stakes. So I'm always reading books and articles from industry giants, and I'm constantly enrolled in courses that will help me with my business development and will help me communicate with my clients better. Until now, one of the questions that I ask my clients for their goals is, how do you perceive personal development? Do you have any plans on going back to school or getting designations and so on? Not just because we have the budget for those, but I also want to get a feel for where they want to see the future. The thing is, all of this started early in my career. Being 18 or 19 years old, I couldn't even grow facial hair. Sitting across the table from someone and talking about their money was extremely difficult. I didn't have a network of friends or family with net worths that were significant enough to manage. So I didn't have a natural market either. I've heard plenty of older advisors say that their designations didn't help them, so it wasn't worthwhile for me to get it and not to pursue like the CFP designation, for example. But the thing is, studying for the CFP made it easier for me to grasp more complex situations, and those old guys were right. The designations didn't help me become a better closer or a deal maker, but studying and looking at the research, reading about the ways to present complex ideas, that genuinely helped me. The things that I've learned has certainly helped me bring more value to the table, and having a more educated conversation added credibility to my ideas as a young guy. The other thing to consider is financial services has a very high attrition and failure rate. I'm pretty sure if I didn't do a lot of that work up front early on, I would have washed out. So I'm sure within your field, there are additional training options and opportunities that will help you stand out, either as an employee or an entrepreneur. I'd love to hear from you. What are the top personal development or business books that you've read? Please leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear your recommendations. I love learning new ideas as well as reinforcing old ones. Number 5 is investing in impact. The mission behind all of this whole channel, is to be able to share information which I genuinely believe people are still lacking. This year, as I've said in previous videos, a key area of improvement for me is communication. That's one of the selfish reasons I started this channel, but the ROI I'm after isn't necessarily direct financial results or subs, at least not yet. The YouTube dollars, to be honest, are LOL. Right now, I just want to become a better storyteller. I want to become a better speaker. I want to be better on video. This whole channel is just me practicing right now. It's me learning out loud. The great thing is I've already met some amazing clients from this, and I'm sure I've also repelled some people that I would not enjoy working with. But before I even launched this channel, I already committed myself to 52 videos. I wanted to do this for a full year without expectation and just simply learn and observe. The better I become at this, the more engaging, the more empathic, the clearer I can be, the more people I can serve and I can help. So ask yourself, are there areas in your life that you are super passionate about? Are there things that you would do with little or no financial gain? I urge you to start considering those. Invest your time and your expertise if you have something to share. Before we wrap this up, I know that when life is coming at us fast, it's gonna feel hard to balance all of these. So what can we do? Well, to be honest, I suck at balancing. So what I tend to do is integrate them together when I'm making decisions for activities or things that we want to do. For example, the health goal. If my wife and I keep taking the kids kayaking and we go on the water more often, that checks off a few boxes of the things that I value. That checks off the health situation, that checks off time with the bae, and that checks off time with the kids. Sometimes I even get my daughter to help me set up all this YouTube stuff. And even my son, he's 4, he wants to join us. And I'm not sure if he's helping very much, but he's certainly spending time with us. With my brothers, I'm also planning to drop into their gym at least 2 or 3 times every month. See, I want to integrate as many of these goals together and essentially hit 2-3 birds in one stone. We can't get all of this done right away. That's the concern. This may take me years to finally get this instilled as habits and make it so that it's all part of my routine again. But my hope is that all these examples give you guys some ideas to work with. Remember that financial planning and designing your life is more than our assets. I hope you can live a fuller life. Until next time, stay aware, take control. I love you all. Peace out. Watch this next video, or maybe this one. I think there's a subscribe button here somewhere too. See you next week.